In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Quest, a high-level, interpreted, and super object-oriented programming language written for the future. The first thing you'll need to know in Quest is a simple print statement. Just to print something, you need to type print and then parentheses, and inside those parentheses, either a single or a double quote, two of them, and whatever you want to type in. So let's go, for example, this is a print statement. If you click run, or if you run it, it will display this is a print statement, whatever is inside the print. You can also put that on 2 lines. So if you say here, and then you can put it here and say this is also a print statement, it will print those. If you run it, it says this is a print statement, this is also a print statement. That's exactly what we wanted. But what about new lines? How do you make a new line? Well, you can just put a backslash and then n for new line to create a new line. So if we do that, it'll say this is a print statement, make a new line, and then this is also a print statement. The next simplest thing in Quest is variables. Variables are simply stated by saying var, whatever the name of the variable is, equals, and then whatever the value is. So let's go with 3. Now, in Quest, there are no types. Unlike many other typed languages, the parser will take care of all of the types, and it will make sure that whatever you specified has the correct type. To print a variable, you can just do print the variable name, so print this var, and it should output 3. Right here, it does. It says 3. I'm just going to remove this at the top. What about if you want 2 variables? What if you want to take a variable and then add them to another variable? That's pretty easy. So all you have to do is create another variable. Let's call this one second var. Set its value to 5, and then you can just add them together. So let's say var third var equals this var plus second var. And then if we try to print third var, it will should output 8. And it does. It outputs 8. So there's many different operations you can use, such as subtracting, multiplying, dividing, exponents. That's not an XOR, that's an exponent, exponents, and modulo. These are just the basic variables. You can also set strings. For example, like let's say second var equals ASDF. And if we print second var, it will output ASDF. Perfect. What if you want to put a variable in a print statement, but with some other text? Like let's say you want to output 3 ASDF, or let's say you want to print this var is equal to 3, which is this var. That's with concatenation. In the print statement, you can create a string and say this var is equal to, and then to add the variable this var into the string, you have to type the ampersand, or the and the variable name, which is this var. This is a concatenation. It's a very simple thing to do, and it's supposed to be super readable from any perspective. If you type it, this var is equal to 3. That's perfect. You can also do basic math inside of a concatenation. If you say second var equals 4, you can do this var or multiplied by second var is equal to, and then we can say this var times second var. If we print it, this var multiplied by second var is equal to 12, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. To end a concatenation, you have to put a space. So if you're multiplying things together, you cannot put any spaces between them, because otherwise it would say that that's the end of it. How do you print how do you escape that then? Well, a backslash. A backslash. A backslash is how to escape anything. If you type backslash ampersand, it will say this var multiplied by second var is equal to an ampersand, which is what we want. We escaped the ampersand and we didn't have to specify a variable to concatenate. Now let's go into something a bit different. Let's go if statements. If statements are also pretty easy, and syntax is close to JavaScript or C++ or any bracket. It's with brackets. So if we type if, then you put two parentheses, and you say if this var is greater than second var, which you can see here that it's not, then it will do whatever in these brackets. So if we type in these brackets, print if we print a, it would mean that this var is greater than second var, which it's not. So if we run this, it should not print a. Perfect. It doesn't print anything. So now let's do it the other way around. What if it is true? Second var is greater than this var. So if that's true, it will print a. So that's perfect. That's what we wanted. Now let's talk about for statements or for loops. For loops are done very readably. All you have to do is type for and then parentheses and then do your first value, which could be 0, could be 1, could be any number. So let's go with 0, 2, and then whatever you want your end value to be. Let's go with 9. So if we print 9, if we say 9 here, it will take it will loop through this from 0 all the way to 9, which is 9 times. It'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It will stop at 9. It's not inclusive of 9. So now if we print a inside this for loop, it should print a 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. That's exactly right. What about the variable I inside? Like most for loops are stated, like in JavaScript and C++, in most other languages, they're done with for let I equals 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, and it's go like this. How would you get the variable I in there? Well, Quest has a part of the for loop that is perfect for that. All you have to do is for, let's go 0 to 9 again, and then you can say as I. So if you say as I will be the thing that's iterating up each time. So it'll go I will equal 0, then it'll equal 1, and all the way to 9, or it'll all the way to 8. So if we do this and we print the variable I and we run it, it should print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is exactly right. Perfect. We have for loops now. And what about other loops? What about while loops? Well, while loops are also simple. There's just an if statement, but with a loop. So if you say while this var does not equal second var, then we can print a. This will be true forever, so it's never going to end because we don't change this var or second var. They'll always be the same. So if we run it, it should print a infinitely many times. It's going to take a while because it has to parse all of it. And boom. A many times, infinitely many times. It's never going to stop. So what if we take this var and add 1 or multiply by 2? Let's just go with add 1. So to add 1 to this var, the syntax is simple. Most languages, they have it as plus equals or equals this var plus, but in Quest, it's just plus. If you say this var plus 3, and then print this var, you move it up here, it adds 3 to this var. You don't have to do anything else. Like, you don't have to do plus equals 3, you don't have to do equals this var plus 3. It's super simple and super easy to write. So now let's go back to while loops. If we say while this var does not equal second var, let's move second var down by 1. So if we say second var minus 1, we can print second var. So it should go down each time. And let's just set second var to like a high number, like 50. It should print all the way numbers down from 50 minus 1 all the way down to when it hits 3, which is perfect. It does that. So now we have while, for, if, variables, and print statements. What about constants? Well, what if you want something to never change? What if you say, I want second var to always equal 50, and if you try to change it, throw an error. So this is simple with just const. You can just type const instead of var. So if you say var second var equals 50 and you run it, it should return an error. Yep, constant second var was reassigned at line 5, column 1. Perfect. We don't want to reassign second var. Now that we've gotten the basics of Quest down, let's focus on more of the advanced stuff. Quest is a super object-oriented language. Variables are objects, functions are objects, even objects are objects. For instance, if we say variable a equals random.integer, so that's a random integer, from 3 to 6, let's go 3 to 6, and we print a, it'll just print the random integer, right? Yes, print 6, prints 3, 4, any random integer between 3 and 6. Let's say we're trying to take the type of this. What is the type of a? Well, it's a number. It's math. You can see that 4 is math. So if we say a.type and we run it, math. Perfect. The type of a is math, which is correct. What about this number? What if we're trying to take the minimum possible value that a can be? Well, if we do that, all we have to do is just a.min, min for minimum. And we print it, run it, and we get 3. Let's say we're trying to take the maximum. If we take the maximum, it'll print 6. Awesome. So this isn't only for setup functions in the standard library. For instance, a user-created function can even have objects as variables as objects. So let's say we go function hello world with a parameter of hi, and we create a variable var b equals, let's go with 9, and let's return that variable b. Now let's add some subvariables to this variable. So let's so b.hello will equal hi, the parameter that you gave in right here. It'll say hi when you're done. And now let's make b.world will equal, let's go with hello world. And then we can return b. So now let's say variable a will equal hello world, and then let's pass in a parameter of 2. Let's say 2. Now if we print a, what we're going to get back is 9 right here. 9, perfect. It'll say 9 because variable b has a value of 9, but it also has subvariables. So let's say we say, let's go a.hello. It should be 2 because we passed in 2 right here, and then b.hello equals 2. So, boom, it's 2. It sends it into hi. It sets b.hello to hi, and then it will return variable b. Now let's print world. What is world? If we say print a.world, it'll say hello world, which is exactly what was here. We can also use concatenation with these things. So let's say variable a is equal to, and then let's go ampersand a space, make a new line. Let's just move this to make it look better. And, not and a dot hello is equal to, then let's go ampersand and a dot hello, and let's close off with a closing quote. So if we run it, variable a is equal to 9, and a dot hello is equal to 2. That's awesome. Now that you know how to use Quest, there are also some additional features, such as a package manager. So to import packages, you have to do add, and then you can write anything like a URL, a actual package, a package name, or another file in your directory. So if we say add useless, useless is a package that I made, and what it does is it's filled with useless stuff. So Quest will automatically add a packages folder and put the Quest file inside it. Alright, so welcome to the useless package. It was made to add useless functions. There are 5 functions: help, useless, maybe, destroy, hello, and do something. So let's do one of these. So what we can do is say while, and then while 1 equals 1, which 1 will always equal 1, then we can input what we want to do. So let's say input, uh, what do you want to do? Question mark. And we can set that as a variable. So let's say let's call our variable answer, or just ans. So if we input, what do you want to do? Question mark, and then it'll set your response to the variable answer. So now, if you go into here and say if answer equals, if it equals help, we will go and call help. If answer equals useless, you can go call the function useless. If answer equals maybe, we can print maybe. If the answer equals destroy, we can call destroy. And if the answer equals hello, we can write hello. Oh yeah, the other one, do something. If answer, it's just a typo, equals do something, you can do something at random. So if we call it, here's how inputs work. So it'll run it and it'll say what's inside it. So let's say we say help, it'll call help package because we said if answer is help, call help. Let's say we do useless. What'll useless do? We can call it, boom, 100 random numbers from 1 to 10. Let's do maybe. Oh, it worked. I got that right. It doesn't do anything. Let's say hello. Hello world. And let's do something. Let's do something. This is destroy function. It destroyed my program. So yeah, that's how to use inputs in Quest and how to import packages. You can also import URLs and other things like extra.quest. So yeah, thanks for checking out this tutorial, and this was definitely not all of it. So if you have questions or if you want to see some other things, you should go visit out the docs at docs.questlang.repl.co, and you should check out repl.it because it's a pretty cool online IDE that was used to create this language.